Hello guys. Somebody a little while ago had asked me if I could do a Q&A. This person asked me what the cast feels like against your leg. I actually just got my cast off yesterday, so now I have a boot on, but I still remember what it feels like, so I'm just going to answer based on what it did feel like. It felt really comfortable against my leg because they put on this like sock material, really soft, over first, and then they put the harder materials on. I just felt that sock material and it was super duper soft. In the beginning, it was really soft on my toes, but obviously it started to like get pilly and it dulled down. So it wasn't as soft as it was when I first got the cast on towards the end, but it was really comfortable. Do you like wearing it and having it signed? I don't mind wearing it. It was pretty cool to experience it considering I've never experienced anything like that before. I didn't mind it, and no, I don't like having it signed. Personally, I just don't like the look of that. But yesterday, since it was the last day I had it on, I decided that I would let people sign it, and I just didn't think to make this video when I had it on. I am so sorry. How bad does it hurt? I mean, I've always heard a broken bone hurts like 10 out of 10. It really depends on the time for the pain levels. I know that when it first happened, I was in a lot of pain. It was like 1,000 out of 10. And even to this day, I still get 10 out of 10 pain. I'm not fully healed at all by any means. All that's changed is the device that's around my ankle protecting it. None of the pain has changed. I'm not all of a sudden better. I can't walk still. There's still a long healing process, a long road to recovery still. If I put it down, I can put a little pressure on it, but if I try walking on it, I'd say it's an 8 out of 10 pain level. Usually when it's resting, like I have it on the ground right now, it's resting, it doesn't hurt, but some days it'll hurt really badly even when it's resting, and usually doesn't hurt at all when it's resting. Does it hurt all the time or just start to feel better after some time? Honestly, it hurts, like I said, like when it's resting or not really doing anything, it doesn't like hurt, but certain ways that I'll move it, if I at all touch it against something, it hurts so much. But having the cast and this boot protect the actual like ankle so much that a lot of the pain is like blurred or like numbed more. It numbs it and protects it so much that there's not a lot that I can feel. However, when it is not in my boot, I can feel every little movement of a single toe. Last night, I took this boot off to sleep and I felt some of the worst pain in my life that I have not felt since this first happened. I haven't had a boot in a month. I kind of forgot what it feels like to take your foot out of it, and from it being in such a confined space, you kind of have to tug your foot out a little bit, and that really hurts to tug at it. And I'm not gonna lie that last night when I did that, I couldn't move. I refused to move. I didn't even know what to do with my ankle. Like, I didn't know how to position it on my bed because A, I haven't dealt with that pain in so long, and B, I was just like, I was so shocked because I haven't felt that level of pain, which was, gosh, an 11,000 out of 10 in, so long. When I took it out, like I said, it just hurt so bad and it didn't stop hurting, like ever. It's crazy to think that it's been a month of not only not walking on two legs and having a fractured bone and having this injury, but also of having a cast on. It felt like it's flown by so much and it feels like I should still have a cast on. This long road to recovery, we're like 1/3 of the way through it. I have to go to physical therapy, which starts in 3 weeks. A lot of swelling's gone down, but she's still swollen. She's very, very bruised because, like the doctor told us, you have to remember, I dodged surgery. That whole time that I was in a cast, it, for some reason, somehow, it didn't fall out of place, which is a miracle because I banged it and bumped it and slipped with it so much when I was in that cast, at least 3 times a day. And somehow the bone stayed in place, which is a miracle. So I'm always thinking about it, and so therefore I don't ever get a break from feeling the pain because I feel like I can feel the pain just from my mental state of knowing that it's there, even if I can't actually physically feel it. Can you describe what the pain is like? I kind of just described it pretty well. When it first happened, when I first fell, I felt this surge of like pain and weakness just flow through me from my ankle throughout my entire body. And that was just the moment that I knew that something was wrong. I knew that something was wrong with my ankle, and I had never felt that pain before in my life. I can't even describe the like weakness and pain that I was feeling. And in that moment when the cracking of my bone happened, I felt this like really sharp pain for a split like 2 seconds. And honestly, all I can tell you describing how it feels, if you've ever sprained your ankle, it feels like that, but 100 times worse. It hurts to the touch. When you're touching it, the pain feels like a bruise, which it is bruised on the outside, but it's also because there's an inner injury, obviously. But even in places that it's not bruised, it still hurts, because there are places where my foot isn't bruised. It still hurts there. Did it hurt when they set your ankle? And I'm assuming they mean like when they put my ankle in the position to put the cast on. I was actually laying on my stomach and my leg was kind of just bent up. Yes, it hurt. I'd say the pain level there was about a 5 out of 10. It wasn't too bad, but it was still painful when she was putting it on, like wrapping it around. It was moving my whole leg, and I just could not keep it still for the life of me because I couldn't flex my muscles to keep my ankle still. I did not have surgery, like I said, but I was very close. I was about 1% away from surgery, because if it had fallen out of place even a slight bit, I would have needed surgery, and I was extremely close to that. Are you able to move your toes in the cast, or is it pretty tight? The cast was actually pretty loose. I was surprised. Basically, if you don't elevate it, it's going to get swollen, and if you do elevate it, it's gonna not be swollen. There were times like it wasn't swollen, and it was so loose to the point that the only thing that was keeping that cast on was my heel. At the bottom of my foot, I got a lot of air because it was open, and yes, I could move my toes. And they asked if it's comfortable, itchy, tight. Like I said, it is comfortable, and no, it's not tight, but it did get so itchy. First day that I went home with it, it was so itchy. I got about 7 itches that day, and you know, as time went on, I got less and less itchy in a day, to the point where the last day that it was on, I only got itchy once or twice, which is just because at that point all of my leg hair was grown out and all of my dry skin was just there, because that's what makes you itchy, is your dry skin and your hair growing out, and that is already like at its peak point. Love to be itchy about. Thank you so much. Everyone in my I Got a Cast video wished me well. I really appreciate it. I know that we're like strangers to each other and I don't know you guys, but I still appreciate all of the well wishes. I always appreciate people's kindness. When they asked if I was having fun on the crutches. So if you want to know if I was having fun on crutches, of course I am. They're awesome when you're not actually injured and have to depend on them. But when you are injured and you have to fully depend on crutches to get you wherever you want to go, even if it's 2 feet in front of you, it is the most frustrating thing in the world, because you can only go so fast. It is very frustrating at times, because there's also like some spaces that you can't get through because they're too messy and there's stuff on the floor and you'll slip, or because they're just too tight for your crutches. And I've slipped so many times on these crutches, let me tell you, because the floor's been wet, or there's been like clothes in the middle of the floor, not in my room, in the rest of the house, and you just slip and you fall. Like I said, they're fun if you're playing around with them and you actually have 2 functioning legs, but if you are actually injured and need these crutches and depend on them to get you everywhere, it is the most frustrating thing in the world. But they are fun at times though, when you're not frustrated with them. This one said, it must suck not able to see your own toes. I actually could see them. It would be funny if you could write Andy at the bottom of your cast. That would have been funny. Oh my god. I really wish I saw this comment earlier, because I totally would have done that at any time. They said speedy recovery, and I'm just curious, how big or bulky is your cast compared to your other foot? Could you show us a size comparison? Stay strong and be safe. Thank you for the well wishes. But again, I'm so sorry I didn't take like a video with my cast on. However, I have some Snapchat videos and pictures that will hopefully give you the idea. My floor is a little bit messy right now because I was doing something and I got stuff over it. So this is what the boot looks like next to my other foot. So this is the comparison here. As you can see, it's really big and bulky, and I'm going to tell you right now, the cast was a lot smaller than this. A lot smaller than this. Basically, the cast was like my leg, but with a little bit of padding. It really was not that bulky at all. The boot is a lot bulkier. I'm not gonna lie, this boot might be more comfortable than the cast. The cast is pretty comfortable, like I said, because it had a soft inside. But the boot, it has extra cushioning. The cast did not have very much cushioning, probably like this much cushioning. This boot has like this much cushioning, like layers. And then the hard outside. And then I also have this little inflate button. I can inflate more air into this, so it gives me more cushion and protection. I do this a lot when my ankle hurts, which means basically all the time, because usually if it hurts and then I pump air into it, it becomes more cushioned and it actually hurts a lot less. Basically what this feels like when you pump air into it is when you get like your blood pressure taken and they put the little cup on your arm and they basically squeeze it until like it feels really, really tight. That's what it feels like. But that's just what it feels like gets tighter around my ankle and my leg, and sometimes it gets too tight where I can't move my toes and it's concerning, or literally my ankle will feel numb if I put too much air in it for too long. So that's when I have to deflate it. And it's crazy to think now that I have so much experience with the cast, because I mean 4 weeks with the cast gives you so much experience, like you feel like an expert on casts and having one. That is my Q&A about my ankle. If you have any more questions about my ankle, definitely ask them in the comments below. If you have any more questions about me, my life, you want to get to know me rather than my little famous ankle over here, definitely comment those as well. Thank you so much for watching. Please comment, share, like, and subscribe for more videos like this and others to come. Bye.